Cool. And thanks so much for joining. It's so nice to see your faces as well. I sometimes get on these Zoom calls and I'm talking to names on the screen. I have no idea. And I totally get that. If you would rather not, that's so fine as well. But it's nice to have so many of you with your faces today, which is really nice. So we're here to talk about learning Reiki and learning Reiki with me in particular. And I'm I love talking about this because I know that the fact that you guys have even signed up to join in on this session is because there's somewhat a little bit of curiosity there, right? Like, oh, what is this love and magic thing that's going on? What's that all about? So I want to know some more. So, so I'm really here to answer any of your questions that you have. But also, if you want to share anything, feel free to do that as well. And really, this is just an opportunity for you guys to learn a bit more about me and for me to learn a bit more about what you're looking for as well. So I'll just start off by telling you guys a little bit about my story and where I've come along on my journey. So basically, I started learning Reiki in 2011, and up until that point, I had been seeing my teacher just as a practitioner and seeing her for sessions regularly for a couple of years before that. And it really was the thing that I feel it was like the icing on the cake of all the kind of the self-work that I had been doing. And, I had been doing a lot of... sorry, just letting people come in as they come in. But I had done a lot of work with psychologists and counselors. I'd really I'd been through a lot of that sort of groundwork and uncovering and understanding who I am, and really analysing all of that stuff. And what I found was just got to this point in my life where I thought, I don't know, I feel like I know why I am the way that I am, but it's not really helping. I feel like I'm not moving forward, like I totally get everything about myself now, but I wanted something more. I wanted some action to take, and I knew that there was something else. And that real missing piece was the energy healing, to be honest. And I realized that now, because when I started seeing my practitioner, the incredible transformation from, when we started, and we worked quite a lot together over those 2 years, but it was incredible just to feel things that I wasn't getting out of sessions. Like, there's so much that I couldn't explain that was helping on a much deeper level. I could feel it was helping on this much more, it wasn't a logical level, and it wasn't like a conscious level, it was just a deeper level. And I really felt the shifts that were happening, and they were coming out in my day-to-day, right? And I didn't really think that I would ever learn Reiki. It wasn't until I met my now husband, and that was in 2011, and he didn't sleep very well. And I thought, oh, well, Reiki's helped me sleep. And we'll talk about more of the benefits in a moment, but that is definitely it's got to be one of the top ones up there, that most people really benefit from Reiki in terms of sleeping better, getting to sleep and being able to get back to sleep and just calming the mind, that sort of stuff. But I thought, oh, I know, I'll learn Reiki, and then I'll do Reiki on him, and then I'll help him, right? I'll save him, which is, I guess, which is just telling in terms of the type of person I've always felt like I, wanted to be working in a helping and healing sort of capacity. So I've definitely found my purpose in this sort of work. But I quickly learned that, level one and Reiki in general is not, we shouldn't be doing it just to help another person, because the reality is that Reiki is absolutely a healing modality, But above that, it is actually a modality that is going to help uncover things about yourself that will help you shift and move through the ego, right? It's about really shifting through the ego and reconnecting with soul, with your essence, with who you really are. And, you know, we don't necessarily just get there from level 1. Obviously, that is the beginning of the journey, and I'll go through the levels as well in a moment, but you certainly begin that at level 1, and that's what that's about. It's like dipping your toe in the water, getting to understand how this works, and I guess seeing the potential that you can get from the full Reiki journey. So I started learning, and then it wasn't until my level 2 that I really felt the pull to learn this, to go right through to the other end, and to then share this with the world, because I thought, far out, this is really a gift, and it has changed my life. And I've seen it now. You know, I've taught almost 300 students, and I've seen it change so many of their lives as well. And it's absolutely incredible, especially during this time. I've got to tell you, the amount of comments I get and the messages that I get from my students saying, if I didn't have Reiki at this time, I don't know how I would have coped. And that in itself is just incredible, because it says, and it just shows how powerful, you know, it's not always about learning something that's going to help us in the good times, right? Or in the times where, you know, where things aren't so bad. But it's incredible that if we do that great work where things are not that bad, when we do that work, it's during these times, right? During the real times where we're being tested and challenged in our life, where we can show up and we know we've done so much work, so that we can actually tackle them, and we've got the courage and the capability and capacity to do to really front up and face those things. And Reiki has been a real saving grace for so many during this time, including myself. I have to say, you know, there are times where you get kind of caught in the COVID bubble, I guess, and you're like, why? Especially being in Melbourne, you know, I've definitely had thoughts of why us, why now, and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. But I know, you know, and this is a beautiful segue into the benefits of Reiki. I can honestly say to you, I talked about the sleeping before, but for me, the biggest benefit from learning Reiki, and I felt this straight away from level 1, was this incredible connection to something bigger than me. You know what? It was the validation that I'm actually not alone, and I'm not separate, and there is something that really does have my back here. And I am connected, and I am loved, and I am protected, and I am guided, and I know I'm on the right path, and I'm always making the right choices, even when I feel like I'm not making the right choices. I am actually on the right path. And I think just learning to trust in that and surrender into that that's probably been one of the most life-changing facets of learning Reiki, because when we realize that there is something bigger than us, and there is something that is actually taking care of you know, our worries and our concerns and that sort of stuff, we actually realize that it doesn't matter how much we worry or how much we have anxiety over something, or, you know, are sad or upset, or, you know, angry, all of these sorts of lower vibrational emotions that we have. It's so nice to know that there is something out there that is really taking care of everything, and surrendering and letting go into that has been massive. I was such a perfectionist all the time, you know, especially throughout my 20s, when I was really, really grappling with depression, with anxiety, had an eating disorder, and, you know, trying to control everything and make sure everything was perfect and my life was perfect. And that, you know, that Reiki really helped me get out of that rut, you know. Like I said, I went to psychologists and counselors, and I did group therapies and all sorts of different things, and I understood. Yep, I get it. I understand why I'm doing this. I understand where the anxiety comes from, the depression. I totally get that. But why can't I shift it? Why can't it change? And it was from Reiki that it really opened me up to something a lot bigger. And level 1 is all about that. It's about opening up your heart, to receive love, unconditional love. And it sounds so simple, right? It sounds really, really simple. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what it is. Great. But the thing is that you guys are probably drawn to even do this sort of work because you are givers, I'm assuming. Yeah, you guys tend to give more than you get back. Yep. And probably you're the last one on the rank who needs your love, right? And attention and all that sort of stuff. And this is what Reiki does. It helps you realize that and give you that, allow you to really understand how important it is for you to be receiving of unconditional love. Because we know how to give it, but it's the part of receiving it and actually receiving it that is often the hardest part. So Reiki is this incredible gift that you can give to yourself. And that is what level 1 is all about. It's about learning this modality for yourself and then being also able to pass that on to your loved ones. And that is what level 1 is really about. And learning to unconditionally love yourself and your loved ones is so much harder than progressing through to level 2, level 3. Because when, level 2 is when we start to, you're able to then start going out and practicing on the public if you wanted to, and seeing people that you don't know, and even charging. It's a practitioner level at level 2, so you can start a business at that or start working as a Reiki practitioner from level 2. So if any of you walked into my clinic space and have a session with me, I'm not going to lie, it's so easy for me to love you. So easy, because I don't know you, right? I don't know you. There's no expectation. There's no preconceived ideas. There's no subjectivity. I am completely open to loving you. And when you are trying to do that for yourself and your loved ones, it's very hard, especially for yourself, right? Think about all the criticism we have, the self-judgment. And I know this is really, really hard. Yeah, some of you are nodding. I'm like, yeah, it's really, really hard. Even when we practice in level 1, you practice the self-Reiki. I know one of the things that people struggle with is they are in their head, which, because we all are, right? It's very normal, by the way. Your mind is for thinking, so it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It means it's working. But you get in your head and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, and you're not going to be able to do this. You start with the criticism and the judgment starts. And the beautiful thing about Reiki is it's unlike meditation in that it's not about stilling the mind. That's not what Reiki is about. Reiki is about opening yourself up to receiving love and being able to channel unconditional love as well. So receiving it and giving it, that's what that is about. And in order to do that, you can still receive, you can still be open to love, even with all your self-judgment and criticism. I'm going to give you guys a little, let you in on a little secret. The more that you practice, and even if you do still have that judgment, you become more aware of the judgment, more aware of the criticism, and that voice starts to get a little bit quieter every time. And what ends up happening is you actually start surrendering more to that feeling and that vibration of unconditional love. And beautiful thing is that when you surrender to that, you can't really hear that voice anymore that is you, because the voice of the universe of unconditional love is so loud. And I know that probably sounds a bit woo-woo, and you're like, what is she talking about? That sounds magical and mystical, because it is. It really is. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and raises your vibration. So it is incredible because it actually is mystical and magical. It raises it to that level where yeah, you feel blissed out at the end of it, you know, and it's great. And that's why it's so relaxing, so calming, you know, talking about some of the other benefits, great for physical pain, but also for emotional pain. It's good for allowing ourselves to feel those things as well, to helping us feel our way through them. I don't know about you guys, but I hate feeling the feels, right? Like, I'm not good at that at all. I have to like sit my ass down and make myself feel it, because I'm so good at suppressing it and going, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, oh, am I angry, upset about that, or whatever? I'll just keep moving forward, and you know, busy myself, keep busy, so I don't have to think about it or feel it. But Reiki makes you feel it, but in this beautiful, gentle way. Reiki is such a gentle approach to healing. It's not, it doesn't like try to rapidly transform you, you know, from and uncover things about you that have been deeply ingrained in you. That's not what Reiki is about. It's so gentle. And your soul, you know, it's based on the premise that your soul is here to protect you. It's not here to make you feel scared or fearful and not want to heal anymore. It's about taking you on this really slow journey. And sometimes I know that can be really hard, because you're like, damn it, I just want to get through all that stuff, and I don't want to have these old fears anymore, or old limiting beliefs, or whatever it is, you know. I want to be confident, and I want to be able to do things and just smash it. And but sometimes we've just got to do the work, right? And it takes a little bit of time, but Reiki is a beautiful support system to enable you to do that. So as I said, it's about breaking down that ego, that barrier, that limitation that we have on ourselves, but it's also raises our awareness so that we really, really can learn to become, the mastership is about being a master healer. It's about becoming, it's self-mastery. That's what it's about. So that's the journey that we go on, you know, throughout the entire Reiki level 1 is setting you up to really follow that through to self-mastery, so that once you graduate, it's not the end, right? But you're certainly set up for success, so that you've got the tools, you've got an incredible amount of awareness about yourself, to the point where, and you've worked on so much, you know, we go through inner child stuff, shadow stuff, we go through all of it and uncovering it all and working through it. And it's you know, it's all at a pace that really suits you. That's the beautiful thing, and what feels right for you. You know, this isn't about, Reiki is not a journey that is about you needing to you know, do this course for 2 months and you've got to finish it in, you know what I mean? It's not about that. It's about going at a pace that is unique and suitable for you, because everyone is different on their journey. And some people, you know, rapid fire, they like to kind of get in there and do the work really quickly, and then others are like, I need time between my level 1 and level 2. I took a couple of years for that. I did level 1 in 2011. I didn't do my level 2 until 2014, and then because I was ready. I've got to tell you, I am seeing a lot more students that are coming in, the types of students that are coming in today. I feel like we've leveled up. Like, you know, people who have tend to do the work, they're really in it, and they're doing the work. And I tend to find that a lot of students coming in now are doing level 1 and then moving through to level 2 really quickly, because they just can feel the benefit and the transformation, and they just want more of that. Whereas, you know, I think just in terms of the trend that's naturally happening around the earth, I feel like, you know, we're just, our consciousness is raising collectively, and I think that's what's happening. That's sort of the trend that I'm seeing, even with the cohort of students. But doesn't mean to say that if you need that time that you don't take it. You absolutely can take it as you need to. So let's talk about some of the other benefits as well. So really, it is raising your awareness, raising your levels of consciousness. It is a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual practice. So it really is about everything. So in terms of actually working through mind, body, and soul, it helps on all levels of your being, which is incredible. Stress, anxiety, I can't say more about this than it has helped so many people with this sort of stuff. Brings more clarity and focus as well. If you tend to be feeling lost, or you can't make decisions about things because you're not even sure about your soul path, or what's right or what's wrong, and what do you want out of this, what do you want out of your life, and what's the right choices, and all that sort of stuff, Reiki has this incredible ability to really help open that up for you, and for you to reconnect with your soul purpose. That's what it's about. It's about navigating your way back to self and who you are. So feeling clarity and focus is another really common one as well. And then, of course, just in general, as I mentioned before, through those tough times, right, with grief, with loss, with any sort of trauma and things like that, it's such a beautiful support mechanism, but not only for yourself, but how beautiful to be able to give that to your loved ones as well. So, you know, I've had students who have helped their mothers when they've been really sick, or, you know, their children when they're sick, or even just for children in general. I've been using Reiki since my pregnancies, and just so beautiful, so calming, as such a beautiful way to connect with another person on that energy level, on a soul level. You know, what happens with Reiki is that you come in with another person and connect with them regardless of their physical being, right? So it's got nothing to do with the physical self. So when you connect with Reiki at that level, you're actually seeing, it's like you're seeing into their soul. And it's incredible, because that's what you feel from them, you know. And it's such an honor and a privilege as a practitioner to have been able to help so many women in the clinic space and be able to connect with them in that way, because I get to connect with their essence, which is unconditional love. And I feel that, you know, I actually feel that. Like, I close down my eyes, I put my hands on their heart, or hands on their head, and I'm sitting there, and all I can feel is the essence of who they really are. So it's beautiful. So, you know, bringing you back to another benefit, which is this incredible increase in your ability to hold compassion for others, but also for yourself. Because when you are connecting with yourself regularly as unconditional love, think about that. Of course, you know, when you look in the mirror, not saying every day I just walk past me and go, just love, there's love staring back at me. There's still judgment there. There's absolutely still judgment there. But it gets easier, right? Because you actually can hold a space that is much more compassionate and loving for yourself, but also for others too. Like, you start having this greater awareness about other people, in terms of, wow, you're actually just coming from this place of all your stories and all your limiting beliefs and all your experiences, but that's not who you really are. Who you really are is love. So, you know, if I can try to see you for what you really are, I can be a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more accepting about who you are and what you do. So there is a whole list of different benefits, and it really is really benefits different people in different ways. And as I mentioned, I told you some of the ways that it's really benefited me. I'm actually going to introduce now Steph, who is one of my master's graduates, but she's also a teacher too. She's also teaching Reiki and has done my teacher's training, which is also an option if you decide to go through with that. And I would love Steph to share just how Reiki has benefited her. And also, feel free to ask Steph any questions afterwards. Thanks so much, Steph.
Well, thank you, Loretta. So hi, everybody. So yeah, my name's Steph. So my Reiki journey began in 2018. So at the time I was in a job that was just really draining me. It was completely out of alignment with who I am. And it actually, the stress that I was going through in that job manifested in a chronic autoimmune disease. So on my path to healing, I found Reiki, and it was one of those things that just kept popping up. So I had friends tell me, oh, you should try Reiki, or, a psychic tell me you'd be really good at Reiki. And to be honest, I didn't know that much about it. And I don't think you really do until you dive into this world a little bit more. So then I met Loretta through a friend. And that was, it's actually been quite life-changing for me in terms of my Reiki journey. So I started my level 1. I did that in 2018. And then I think I took about maybe 6 months before I did my level 2, because I just needed that time to integrate all of the stuff I was learning. And I was also actually, I was studying to be a yoga teacher at the time. So I had a lot on my plate. And then I continued on to do my level 3A. And I always knew within my heart that I really wanted to become a Reiki master and also, create a career out of this. But there was a lot that was holding me back, a lot of self-doubt. I didn't have, that much belief in myself that I could do that. So that's really what Reiki has given me. It's given me so much, so much inner healing, so much inner awareness as well. So understanding, who I am, or, also why I am the way I am, and how I can also be the best version of myself. That's probably, been one of the most amazing parts of my journey. So then I did my level 3A in, I think it was July 2019. I think it was around then. And then I went off and got married. So I got that out of the way. I was like, all right, I need to go do this. I can't have anything more on my plate. And then I came home and got into my Reiki mastership, and I went for it. I was going weekly, so often showing up after work in tears and things like that. Loretta's laughing. But it was an incredible journey. It was 6 months of amazing transformation and awareness. And during that time, it wasn't long after that I started my mastership that I actually started my business as well. So having that support each week, and having a healing each week, and learning more and more about myself, and breaking through all these limiting beliefs, and that actually supported me to then start my own business, which now is my full-time job, which is so exciting. So it's just been an incredible journey for me. So now I'm a Reiki master. So I have my own clients every week, and I also teach Reiki. And so I did my Reiki teacher training with Loretta, and it's just been incredible. It's been a journey of really coming back into alignment with who I am and letting everything else sort of fall away. So and I think that's what Reiki sort of teaches us. It reminds us of who we are deep down, and without all the extra stuff that we put on. And so that's my journey. If anyone has any questions, or would like to know anything, please ask. I think I included most of it.
Amazing. It's definitely been a journey of unlearning, right?
Yes, unlearning for sure. That puts it perfectly.
Love it. So if anyone's got any questions for Steph specifically, please just go ahead if you wanted to.
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
Thank you for sharing all that.
Okay.
So you've mentioned that you've had this transition in your life. Did you feel quite uncomfortable during that entire transition? Because it sounds like your entire life has changed.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely been moments where it's been really uncomfortable. But I think through that, discomfort, that's sort of where the change happens.
Yeah.
So I think probably the last 2 years, there's been a lot of discomfort and challenging decisions that I've had to make. But at the end, like, there's been an inner knowing that I'm making the right choices and it's all leading to the right place.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that that's a part of the healing journey, is that you do have to experience some uncomfortable moments, but it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Don't think we can get to where we want to be without some discomfort. Yeah. But that's such a beautiful question. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you for that.
That's okay. Cool.
I just wanted to add to that as well. I think the great thing is that you're really held. I mean, Reiki itself is a modality that teaches you to hold yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Literally, because you are sitting there with your hands on yourself. So you are actually literally holding yourself, but also holding yourself in mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well. Mm-hmm. But you're also held by myself, but you're also held by the entire community as well. So when you join the Nourished Energy community as a student, you join all these other students who are on the same journey, where when we sign up to do a Reiki course, you're signing up to basically for the discomfort. You're saying to the universe, you know what, I'm ready for this discomfort right now, because the discomfort that I'm experiencing in my day-to-day not changing is actually worse than I know what's waiting for me at the other side of this. So it's really a choice that we make, right? And we choose, every time we choose to show up, we're making that choice to sit in the discomfort of, like Steph said, she was working a job that she absolutely hated. And yes, I remember those days. She would come into my clinic after work and she was in tears because she fucking hated her job. It was and not only because it was heavy work and it was affecting her on all levels. So and I guess that's the difference, right? And she knew, she was scared. She was scared to quit, scared to, and it's not about quitting. It's not even about that. It wasn't even about her goal in the mastership wasn't, I want to quit my job. It was, it was about trying to understand and navigate how we can also better show up for that particular work while we need to be in it, right? Because there is a time where it's about doing this realistically and practically too. But it's about working on gaining the confidence so that you stop disempowering yourself and giving the power over to the work, the job, to make you feel like shit, and stop feeling disempowered and giving over your power to people for taking away your energy, or using your energy and cutting through your boundaries and all that sort of stuff. So it's about doing that work and understanding why is it that we're uncomfortable in our current life? What is it about our current life that makes us feel uncomfortable? And then, yes, we did get to a point, and Steph has just recently quit her job and created this as she's a full-time light worker now, and that is unbelievable. And it may not be the path for everyone, but the fact is that she has done that work and getting to a point where she's got the confidence to have been able to resign from that job.
And I would say, I think the easy option would have been me just staying in that job and not deciding to make any change, even though it would have, created more discomfort over time. I think that would have been the easier option, rather than having the courage to sort of, follow in something that I love and, go through this transformation and really work hard towards something. And I know it's not going to be, an easy path from here either. So I think it's also about, then having the courage and, the belief in yourself to keep working at it. But yeah,
absolutely. We always are on this journey of continuously showing up, continuously doing the work, so it's it doesn't stop, but it does get easier, and you get better. you get better at it. You know, and we're slowly just edging towards being the best version, the greatest version of ourselves that we can be. And that's what this is really about, right? That's why we're all here, is to be that greatest version of who we are, so that we not even only heal ourselves, we heal, you know, the collective, that we do the work and we give permission to others to do the work as well. And that's really, you know, that's really what we've all been asked to be here, and at this particular weird, strange time. but we're all here for, you know, for this reason. So it's really, really amazing if you can continuously lean into that discomfort and keep going. So thank you so much, Steph, for coming on. You're welcome to hang around, or I know you might be busy. Feel free to.
That's okay. All right, I might head off. So I'll say thank you, guys. Good luck on your journeys as well. And yeah, it's amazing. So okay, thank you. Bye.
I'll also share Steph's details in the email if anyone wants to get in touch with her more. But so let me just go through the levels now, so you guys can have an understanding of how the Reiki journey looks. Basically, you start with level 1. So I mentioned that is your journey of beginning the journey of self-discovery and self-love. And that also, what we really do there is just get you used to Reiki as a modality. So it's really about understanding, getting used to connecting, getting used to the hand positions and all that sort of stuff, understanding energy, understanding healing, the role that healing takes, that plays in our lives and the lives of others, and how we're responsible for it and not responsible, and all that sort of stuff. We learn about Reiki as a modality, where it's from, the history. We delve into the principles of Reiki and how it's kind of emerged over the last 100 years. And then we also talk about the chakra system and working with that. So the energy system is really great to understand when we're working with Reiki, because it is an energy healing modality. So we get a real deep dive into the different chakra system, and we do some beginner work on crystals and incorporating crystals into Reiki healing as well. For any of you guys that, just a thumbs up if you like crystals. Yay! I love it. Very good, very good. So we start on that journey, and you get a crystal pack, a beginner's crystal pack, and a chakra pack as part of level 1 as well. And you also get a practice. You have a practice of self-healing, and you learn how to also practice on another person as well. And so that is level 1. And that's $350 for level 1. Level 2 and level 3A are both $380, and they are, again, just one full day, whether it's online or face-to-face in St Kilda. But they're if any of you have any questions about doing it online versus face-to-face, I'm more than happy to answer those as well. And we can wait till I finish talking about the different levels. But level 2 is your practitioner level, as I mentioned earlier. So this is for any of you who are thinking about going into Reiki as a practice, as a professional practice. This is definitely, obviously, the path you'll need to go down to, but it's not just for that. You know, Reiki is based on you being the best healer that you can be and the best version of you. So in order to do that, again, we deepen your capacity and capability of healing. So it's more self-work, it's more transformational work on the self, so that you can show up as a practitioner that you need to be. So we work through, it's much more based on the third eye and your intuition. So we really delve into intuitive practices. You learn and you will practice psychometrics, so energy reading, in level 2 with me. Level 1 is much more based on just understanding the healing as a practice. And then we delve into actually being able to translate the healing and understand that, and how to do that for clients. You learn about creating a business or a practice. You also receive one of my courses, my business courses, as well as part of that. So there's the whole business side of things, but it's, as I said, it's not just about that. It's also about your own self-transformational journey and your own healing journey. So most of the component is about that. You learn how to perform a distance healing, which is mind-blowing in itself and absolutely incredible. And as you can imagine, during lockdown has been a lifesaver for so many people, because it's and just opened people's eyes up to the effectiveness. So I feel like for those of you starting who are wanting to start this as a business, you're kind of coming in here at a really good time, because before COVID, there weren't as many people who were really open to having a healing online. Has anyone had a healing online during lockdown? Yeah. Look at it. Yeah, it's incredible, right? And it's just as incredible. And you get to stay in your pajamas at home, which is great. But yeah, it's just as incredible, and more people are open to it now as well. So, there's that added benefit too. But even as on a personal level, such a beautiful gift to send to people who need it as well. People who may be overseas, or who may be in hospital, or you can't get to them, and that sort of stuff. So it is very, very special. Another special gift of Reiki. And you also learn the first 3 symbols. So symbols in Reiki are like tools to help amplify the healing modality. So just naturally, your healing capabilities will deepen at level 2 level, and they continue to deepen throughout. So level 3A is what comes after that. Level 3 is your mastership level, and it's broken into these 2 parts. So level 3A is one day, and it's like your introduction to the full mastership program. And level 3A is really there so that you also will receive an additional 2 symbols, and that includes the master symbol of Reiki, which has a resonance with enlightenment. So it's a very powerful symbol, but it's also it also completes like the 5 Reiki master symbols, the most prominent symbols. And then after that, you have the level 3A is also we work at a much deeper level. So we really go into the soul healing. We talk about past lives. We go into really refining your healing capabilities, so as a healer, but also really uncovering a lot more about who you are. So it is much, much deeper than perhaps level 1 and level 2. They're much, if I could describe it that way, they're probably a little bit more surface level, and they're a lot more structured, whereas level 3A is they're a lot smaller classes, and they're really discussion based, and a lot of it is tailored to you guys and what you need, and it's really about getting you ready, and I find, and it's getting you ready for the mastership if and when you chose to go through with that, because the mastership is a commitment, right? So it's kind of saying to you, just wait and see if you're ready for this, and then make the decision after you do level 3A, and that's basically what it is. And then your mastership is 20 sessions with me, one-on-one, and it is completely, you receive symbols and healings in each of those sessions, but you in terms of the work that we do, it's all about you. It is all about you, and it's about really working on the things that you need to heal and grow through. And as Steph said, she gave you some examples of some of the things that she had to work through, and really that's what it's about. And at the end of it, you come out as a Reiki master, which is a very well-earned badge to have after all that work that you do, and it is paced at whatever works for you. So most people do it weekly, but for different reasons, some people will do it fortnightly, so that they kind of ease their way through the mastership. And I've got a couple of students who've also opted to do it monthly as well. So it takes them over a good a year and a half, but it's, you know, it's at their own pace and what they feel like they want to do, and how rapidly they kind of want to heal through it as well. And of course there's the opportunity to teach at the end of your mastership as well. So let me delve into, I'll talk about online versus face-to-face sessions. Yeah, I'm sure a few of you are wondering about that. So I've got to tell you, I am really committed to a very high standard of teaching. I don't, I mean, first off, I wouldn't have ever taught online if I didn't feel like I could uphold the same level and the standards that I do in a face-to-face setting. And you know, I promise, and I put my brand and my reputation on the line by doing that, right? So I promise you, I really uphold those standards. And the response to that has been unbelievable. In some cases, I'm scratching my head going, I think sometimes the online sessions might outdo the face-to-face sessions in terms of the impact that they tend to be having. I'll give you a really good example, 2 examples of how I can best explain it. So level 1 and a level 2 example. In the level 1, we do a self-healing. And I don't know, I'm sure that there is something in this, and that's why online seems to be so impactful here. But when we do the self-healing, you guys actually go away and you have a break from the you know, the online learning. So you're going away, you have your initiation, which is like the ritual that you will have in each of your levels. So we do that one-on-one in a breakout room. So it's just me and you get that one-on-one time with me, and then you go off and you do a self-healing, and then you come back and you report. And I have found that people are just connecting with the self-healing so much more intensely than I've ever seen, honestly, I've ever seen in a face-to-face class. And so I'm going back now that, you know, I think classes should be able to open back up in November. I'm going back going, how can I have this same impact for people in the room? And the reason being is because you're not worried about other people looking at you, or, you know, the judgment, or I'm doing it wrong or whatever. You are there and you are like, I don't care what I look like right now. If I fall asleep, or if, you know, I start snoring, or, you know, I'm drooling, or whatever is going on. You know what I mean? You don't have any of these sorts of ideas, that any of these thoughts, and that sort of, so you get rid of any of that already. But also, there's something really safe, I think, about sharing in an online community too, in terms of there tends to be this just real, people tend to be more open. And the cool thing is that when you are open to sharing a little bit more about your experience in the self-healing, I'm able then to respond to you and help you as well. We do a bit of, you know, laser mentoring in the sessions, because I'm really committed and wanting you guys to get the most out of this, you know, and I feel like I've failed if you go off and you forget and don't do Reiki anymore. That, you know, I feel like I've failed. I want you to reap the benefits that I know over 4 million people around the world, you know, have reaped as well. So there's something really special also about connecting online in that way. So the impact and the effect of the self-healing has been incredible. And then in the distance healing sessions, I have to tell you as well, so when we are in level 2, when we are practicing distance healing, again, I think because you guys are learning via distance to do a distance healing, it's almost like your confidence is also raised in the distance healing, and how that works, and the impact again and the effectiveness has been incredible. Like the students are coming out and they're picking it up straight away, and the healings have been phenomenal. Like the feedback that we're receiving, because you go away again, you do the distance healing, and then you come back and report back, you know, so that we can start translating and delving deeper into your intuitive practices and all that sort of stuff. So it's it has been absolutely incredible as well. So if there was any doubt in your mind about whether or not, you know, to go one way or another, I just want you to know that yeah, it's gone so well that I'm actually trying to understand how I can incorporate and bring elements of the online learning into my face-to-face sessions, because they are so good. Also, if you are in, you know, wherever you are really, because I've got students in various places around Australia, but if you wanting to also come in for shares, which is when you actually practice with another student, you're welcome to come into St Kilda, into the clinic, and you know, I will be running those and holding those for students, especially the ones who have learnt online and who are wanting to practice with another student, which is really, you know, I think that's a really good opportunity for you. You can just practice on a loved one and that sort of thing, but there's something, again, special, and this is part of being in the community. It's something special about having a healing with another student, another person who has learnt their Reiki, because they can give you great feedback, right? And also when someone is really open to that energetically, your experience is going to be even better too. They're not closed off to you know, healing and all that sort of stuff. So it's actually a really beautiful experience as well. So there is that option as well. But as I said, I've also got students around regional Victoria, Sydney. I've got students in Perth, students in New Zealand. So there are in New South Wales, Queensland, there's students around if you wanted me to get you in touch with other ones as well. So let's open up for questions now, but I'm hoping I've answered some of what you may have been wondering so far. Feel free to get off mute, or you can write in the chat as well if you wanted to.
Yeah, Loretta, I did actually have one. So a friend of mine is studying kinesiology, and she's about a year into it, and they've just learned how to protect themselves and their own energy. So I'm not sure how it works with Reiki, but do you work on how to, when you do tap in and start healing someone else, how you can then separate from it? Like, where does that kind of play in the tiers of learning?
Yes, great question. We learn that in level 1. It is very important. So it is like level 1. It's straight away you learn all about that, and I'm really passionate about empowering you guys to be able to really protect you. And the great thing is that Reiki itself does not actually help transfer any energy. So I just want you to understand that. So when you are practicing Reiki, you are acting as a channel. That's what you're doing. You're acting as this channel for unconditional love, like a conduit, right? So what happens there is the Reiki just sort of works as it needs to work. There's a bit more structure to it, but essentially it works as it needs to work. And you don't have to worry about you passing on anything to the client or the recipient, and the recipient receiving anything from you or passing anything to you. So I just want that's really important to understand. There's no transference of energy there. However, of course, you're just in the company of another person, and sometimes we're triggered by things. And so absolutely, this is important for us to understand. Reiki, because it helps you with that awareness piece, and really to raise your awareness of yourself, but not only who you are, but energetically as well. Your energy awareness is raised, is heightened, and it's incredible. To be able to walk into a place or have that understanding and knowledge, that awareness that I know what is good for me, I know what's not, and I know how to protect myself in the moment so that I'm not being affected by this particular thing or this particular person, and having that empowering choice that to really make those decisions and protect your energy. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Is there any other questions?
Sorry, Loretta. You talked about in the level 3 that you do more kind of shadow work and child work. Does that come into play in the lower levels as well? Where does that start to build from?
So that work starts at level 1. Because what is happening in level 1, I promise you, in the class, I can guarantee that you will walk away from level 1 class and you will have at least one aha moment and oh my fucking God. As in, shit, that makes, oh my God, I know where that's come from, or oh my God, you know, it's going to trigger stuff, I promise you. And this is why, you know, you can't, it's Reiki is different than studying some other courses sometimes, because you go in there and you're not just learning a modality, you're actually signing up for a self-growth, for self-development. And so it starts from level 1. The awareness piece, the delving deep into whether your inner child's affected, and or it's, you know, shadow work, or the ego, or it's a limiting belief, of fear, and all that sort of stuff. So we really start to delve into that. So I guarantee you'll be triggered from level 1. But in a good way, in terms of the awareness of the self will be raised, and this is, it starts to kind of be a theme, and then, you know, and we work through it more and more is uncovered with each level. So.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, just one quick question.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I need to, like I say the sentence 50 times a day, but I need to drop off for another meeting. Will you send all the information for the online? It's via email, and I know you will. So yes, I just want to. Yeah.
So I'm going to send, as soon as the recording comes through for this, I'm going to email it back out to all of you guys, also with all the information. I've got a class this Sunday, level 1, and another one next Sunday online. And then hopefully we're starting November classes in clinic, but I'm also continuing with the online. As I said, they've been so successful, and I really want to continue doing the online courses as well. So I will send through some more dates and things like that as well.
Perfect. As much as I'd love to come and see you, I'm in Sydney.
Yeah.
So, it's great. I'm excited that it's an option. So thank you. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Have a good day. I need to drop off. Thank you.
Thanks.
See you, Len.
Bye.
Bye.
So with the level 1, Loretta, that's only, it's just a day course?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's a jam-packed day. So it's an intensive. So it's 9, we start at 9 a.m. And we finish, you know, depending on the class, sometimes it goes a little bit earlier or a little bit later, but it's around 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
And you have, you get a break during the day. You do a self-healing, and, you know, I let you eat. So you're going to have some lunch. But yeah, basically it's an intensive class. So, there are some other classes, you know, some other Reiki lineages where they teach level 1 over 2 days. You don't miss out on anything in the class. It's just that it's more intensive, and I learnt that way. I've done both, so I've done it in that way and I've done it in the other way. But I've also, honestly, I've found that people they're just getting it. So the level 1 day is enough. And as I said, it's the practice that makes the difference, right? I can teach you and teach you and teach you. You could read as many books as you want, but it's the practice. It's an experiential modality. It needs to be experienced. And that's why Reiki is so hard to explain to people. You know, if you've had Reiki before, and it's okay if you haven't, so many people come to the courses and they've never even tried it. But if you've had Reiki before, you'd know yourself, it's so hard to describe to someone else. You're like, I don't know, but it just felt really good. Or so the more that you practice, that's where the real, you know, the real impact will occur from the courses. And you'll have opportunities to have a practice with other students if you wanted to, and or, you know, you can practice on your loved ones as well. Yeah.
So Loretta, your class this weekend, is there spaces available in that?
Yeah, I've got 2 spots left. So I've got to tell you, there's only 6 in the class anyway. So I've got 4 at the moment. So I'm open. I've still got two spots. And next Sunday's class, I think there's 4 spots left in that class.
Great.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope. No? Awesome. Okay. Well, if you do, please feel free to email through anyway. It's all good. And it's so lovely to join you guys today, and hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully it's just helped you with your Reiki curiosity, even just a little bit. And I'd love to see you in a course, of course. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.